you're wondering how to start a blog for your business that actually allows you to sell more of your products, programs, and services, today I have 5 very important steps for you that you need to take right now to ensure that you have a profitable blog that's sustainable and actually helps you move the needle forward in your business. Hey guys, I'm Kim Jimenez, your digital marketing strategist and the founder of The Business Lounge. And today I have some pretty awesome tips for you. So I released a video earlier talking about how to monetize a blog, and you definitely need to check out that video. If it's published, it should be linked in the description box below. But so many of you guys ask me every single week about how to start a blog, how I started my blog, how I'm selling more of my products, programs, and services via the blog. And so today I wanted to just compile all of that for you into a very straightforward video. So today I'm super excited to be sharing 5 of my top tips to really monetize and leverage your blog for more sales. So this is important because it's only for business owners and entrepreneurs. And by the way, if you want to, after you watch this video and you want to learn even more about this topic, we're hosting a free class. I'm hosting a free class all about blogging for business, 4 simple steps that you can take to sell more of your products, programs, or services via your blog. So highly recommend signing up for that. You can enroll, it's free, and you can go over to kimberlyandjimenez.com/blog class, blog as in blog, blog class, to enroll for free and check that out. It's also going to be linked in the description box below, so definitely check that out. So today I wanted to compile all of those tips for you, and tip number 1 is to get clear on your purpose. When we're starting a blog for our businesses, and keep in mind, this is all for business owners and entrepreneurs who are delivering their programs, their services, or products on the internet or want to do that. So if you're a freelancer, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you're an author, if you have a shop, if you own a boutique, if you're selling physical products, if you offer online training and workshops, and maybe you do mastermind groups or group coaching, or you offer online courses, I think I already said that. This is for you, so just keep that in mind. But you have to get clear on your purpose, your why, right? Why are you starting a blog, and how is it going to serve your business goals at large? So oftentimes we get so caught up trying to do, social media and really leverage our Instagram and grow YouTube and podcasting and networking and blogging and newsletters that we get totally off track because we are not focused on our purpose. And so the purpose of your blog is to generate more traffic, right? It's to give people, right, an opportunity or an incentive to come over to your website. It's to build trust with them, leverage your authority, and get them to buy more of your stuff. So it's simple and straightforward, but you have to have this written down so that it's clear and you don't feel like, you're just writing content for the sake of writing content, even if no one is actually reading it. So it's really important to stay focused and stay on your game. So tip number 2 is to do research. You can't just, blog and just about anything that you feel like blogging about that day. You have to be intentional, and you have to write about topics that people want to read about. And so I have 2 very important tips for you. Number 1, you have to get to know your ideal client, and that happens, by having real conversations with them. When I first started my blog, I was constantly talking to entrepreneurs and business owners about their struggles, about their needs related to what my, business was all about, which was social media marketing. So any chance I got to talk to someone in real life, to jump on a Skype call, to chat with them on Facebook Messenger, to chat in a Facebook group or in a LinkedIn group, I did that. And the reason why I did that was because I wanted to learn more about what their needs were so that I could, create solutions for those problems. And so as I grew my business and I was working one-on-one with clients and customers, all of the ideas that I got literally came from conversations that we had, either questions they were asking me when they were talking one-on-one, or I would literally, go to the web, which is tip number 2, and I would utilize the tools that I had available to me at the time. So anything from, using Google's keyword tool to search for, what are some of the trends happening based on your specific industry, or using tools like BuzzSumo, which literally you can type in keywords and they'll give you a list of all the most popular blog topics. Those are extremely helpful. I use that for every type of client, whether it was a plastic surgeon or an author or an e-commerce store. Really understanding what your clients want to learn more about is super important. Step number 3 is you have to become an SEO maniac. You really have, if you want to leverage the power of blogging and you want to attract readers, you need traffic. And SEO is a great long-term strategy to build your readership, to get more people in the door, and definitely leverage that traffic for more sales. So you have to understand the power of search engine optimization, right? So what do you do to optimize your blogs before, during, and after you publish them? Now we have an entire SEO course inside of the Business Lounge if you're using WordPress or you're using a tool like Squarespace, then you're definitely going to take advantage of that class. If you're a part of the Business Lounge, I'll link to it below so you can access it really easily and really quickly. But if you're not inside the Business Lounge yet and you want to understand, what are those first steps, highly recommend at least, doing a couple of searches on the internet, reading through some of the blogs that come up. What are the basics? You really have to start with your end goal in mind. You really need to know exactly what you're going to be writing about and what long-term and short-term keyword you can use to rank higher on the search engines. But then there's a whole nother layer of that as well. If you're blogging, you should be leveraging Pinterest search engine optimization and YouTube. Both of those channels, although they're considered to be social networks, they're really not. They're search engines, and I highly recommend leveraging them. A lot of our traffic comes from Pinterest and comes from YouTube. We leverage both of them to build our blog, to build our email newsletter, and to monetize our efforts. Speaking of monetization, step number 4 is all about monetizing your blog. And that really comes into play as you are creating and planning, your entire strategy. So we have a whole video dedicated just to monetizing your blog. I'll link to it in the comments or in the description box below so you can watch that as well. But just to summarize all of that, you have to have a clear monetization strategy. So if you sell physical products, that means that you're going to be writing about topics where you can link your products within your blog post. If maybe you are selling online training or high ticket, coaching and consulting programs, then what you want to do is utilize your blog as a way to capture leads. You're going to want to have a great lead magnet, some content upgrades, and you want to blog about the topics that you're going to be sharing in something like a webinar or in a consultation call. All of that good stuff is super important. So I'll give you an example for those of you who think that, these types of strategies only work for bloggers, for people who sell online training, for people who sell info products. You're absolutely wrong. So I'll give you an example. This is a couple years back. I was working with a plastic surgeon and we were trying to come up with ideas to really leverage, the whole notion of blogging so that we could build up a really decent traffic source in town. And so what we did was we created, in addition to blogging, we created an awesome lead magnet that helped women really prep, before they get into the office, before they go in for a consultation, and take away some of the crazy myths that women often think about when they associate plastic surgery, and really help them prep and make sure that they feel confident about going in for their consultation. It also saves the doctor a lot of time because the information that we put inside of the lead magnet was some of the things that they discussed during the consultation. So things like, are you a candidate? Should you worry about downtime and how much time you're going to be, maybe out of work or not be able to leave the house, or you're going to be in pain. All of those things we itemized inside a guide in a lead magnet, and that thing was incredibly profitable. It brought in so many leads into the practice because people felt more confident, they felt informed, they felt like they were able to get to know the doctor before even going into a consultation, which can be really scary if you've never, had any procedure done before. So those are just some examples, I have a billion, of how you can literally go in there and have a clear monetization strategy. So we utilized the blog, right? We started blogging about 5 things you need to know before you actually, head into your first consultation with a plastic surgeon. Then we gave women the option of downloading the entire full guide, which most of them did, and then through the guide we actually pitched them on booking a consultation. It was very simple, it was very straightforward, but it worked. So doing things, having that clarity in mind, understanding how blogging can actually help you get to that next level and really monetize your brand is critical. So I wanted to just touch on this real quick. If you are selling someone else's products, like if you're an affiliate marketer, the same thing applies. It doesn't matter what type of model you have, business model, whether it's again e-commerce, or you're selling services like my plastic surgeon client, or you're selling physical products, or you're selling online training, or you're an affiliate marketer. You want to use the exact same strategy, the exact same steps. And if you're part of the business lounge, then you get to literally tap into my direct feedback. And that's how I can help you, understand that process and how you're going to implement it for your individual business. So again, if you're not part of the business lounge, definitely check it out. I'll leave a link in the description box below. But monetization is super important, and make sure that you watch our second video all about monetizing a blog. It's going to be linked below. Okay, so the 5th and the final step is all about picking your platform. And we left it for last on purpose, because this is the first question I typically get is, do I need to have a blog on WordPress, or should I run it on Squarespace? And the reality is, at the end of the day, the strategy is what's going to allow you to be successful, not the tool. While I love tools, and you guys know I'm a huge proponent of tools, I love them, they serve to make your job easier, right? As a marketer, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, but they're not going to guarantee success. So what I would do if I were you is I would pick one of 2 tools, either Squarespace or WordPress. Highly recommend building your blog on WordPress, because it has so much more functionality than Squarespace or anything else on the market. I don't care what anyone says, like seriously, I use WordPress. I'm in the trenches with my members. I have a Squarespace site for one of my family members that I manage for them on the side, so I understand the differences between one and the other. And really, Squarespace is very easy to set up. It's fast, it's quick and dirty, but it's way more expensive in the long run, and it's also very limiting. As your business grows, you're going to want to be implementing some advanced marketing strategies, and there's serious limitations with Squarespace because they're they're a private company, whereas WordPress is open source. So highly recommend building your business on a solid foundation, even if it's a little more complicated to set up at the beginning. And again, if you have questions about this, we have an entire course inside the Business Lounge dedicated to WordPress and how to set that up. It's WordPress 101. I literally go behind the scenes and tell you what buttons to pick, which host provider to use, how to build your pages and your themes, etc. But here's one thing that you do want to consider as you are creating your WordPress site or your Squarespace site is, if you have a blog, the only reason I would say to have your blog on a separate platform than where your website is would be for functionality purposes. So say that you already have a Squarespace site or you have a Shopify store. Both are great, website hosts, especially Shopify if you're doing e-commerce. But again, they do have limitations. And so that's the only reason why you might want to consider having a separate blog on WordPress and hosting it privately there. So that's just one caveat, but think about where your website already is, set up, whether it's Wix or, Joomla, or it's custom coded. Ideally, you'd want to have the blog also live, within your website, but if it can't because there's, technical issues or there's limitations, then consider having a separate WordPress site for sure. Alright guys, that is a wrap. I hope my 5 tips actually helped you to start and monetize a profitable blog for your business. Now if you want to dig in deeper into this topic, we're hosting a free masterclass. I'm hosting a free masterclass all about, monetizing and selling more of your products, programs, and services via your blog in 4 simple steps. So if you want to learn more about that, if you want to ask me questions, sign up. It's free, and you get instant access to the class. So highly recommend going and checking that out for sure. We're pulling tons of great valuable information, sharing with you examples, going in depth into different business models and how to strategically build your blogging empire so that you can captivate more eyeballs, grow your email list, get more leads, and definitely increase your bottom line. So that's going to be linked in the description box below, or you can go to kimberlyannjimenez.com/blog class and you'll access that right away. All right, I hope that this video was helpful. If it was, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Definitely also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so that you never miss another episode. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Love you lots. And I'll see you again in the next episode, which I already said that, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. Bye.